Welcome to the presentation of the MK Lifetime Achievement Award in 2021. This year's Lifetime Achievement Award is going to be presented to Andrea Perrault. I want to welcome all of you, and it's our pleasure to have you here with us today. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Roberta Suleman, the Executive Director of Literacy Volunteers of Massachusetts and the Board President for the Massachusetts Coalition for Adult Education. The Massachusetts Coalition for Adult Education champions the rights of all adults to acquire 21st century English language, literacy, and numeracy skills, leading to economic prosperity, strong families, and vibrant communities. As the voice of adult education in the state, MK successfully leads advocacy in the field of adult ed through working with elected officials and mobilizing our membership to take action throughout the legislative and budget process. MK also provides other activities which enrich the field of adult education. Professional development, especially Network, our annual conference, which is one of the largest in the country and the largest in New England. Educational webinars for practitioners throughout the year. Surveys, research, and reports on issues that impact adult education and our students, scholarships to adult students, and awards to adult educators and students. The Lifetime Achievement Award is not given out every year. MK's Board of Directors and Awards Committee are always watching the field for candidates worthy of receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award. There is no application, no nominations are solicited, and as I said earlier, this award has only been given out a couple of times in the past and is not given out every year. The Board of Directors and the Awards Committee collaboratively decide when and whom to honor with this award. This year's recipient is Andrea Perrault. She has an extraordinary background, set of expertise, and a multi-decade career in adult education. Most people connected to adult education probably remember Andrea most from when she worked at the Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education in the Adult and Community Learning Services Unit. But her work in adult education has spanned a wide variety of settings. Andrea was a teacher, advisor, and program coordinator at higher education institutions. She worked at Salem State, Boston State's Flexible Admissions Program at the Urban Learning Center, Newberry College, Quincy College, North Shore Community College, and Mount Ida College as a teacher, as a tutor center director, as an academic advisor, and as a program coordinator. Andrea also helped facilitate information and access to higher education opportunities. She worked at the Educational Opportunity Center at the Boston Public Library, coordinating a statewide program to facilitate access to post-secondary education opportunities. She also worked at the Education Development Center in Newton. While Andrea continued to teach at colleges throughout her career, she also began to explore the new field of workplace education, joining the Continuing Education Institute with Lloyd David. Andrea was a visionary and one of the first in adult education in Massachusetts to recognize the incredibly important connection between adult education and workforce development. She was the first workforce development staffer at Adult and Community Learning Services, starting there in 1998 and retiring in 2014. At the time that she joined ACLS as the first workforce development developer, the field of adult education did not fully embrace the importance of workforce development, but she did. She was a visionary and the link between the two disciplines that enriched both of them and benefited countless students. She educated adult educators about how adult education was an important component of the workforce development system, how the workforce development system could provide more opportunities and jobs for their students. She educated the workforce development system about the importance of adult ed and foundational skills and how adult education students were excellent workers. As Mary Saris of the Mass Higher North Shore Workforce Board said about Andrea, she had a unique ability early on to understand what a workforce board does, what a community college does, and how that could help the ABE community. She deeply understood the work world that our DESE students were trying to access and how it would work. Andrea didn't just want students to get a job. She wanted them to have the chance to have a real career. She worked with agencies that no one in ACLS had worked with before, such as the Executive Office of Labor and Workforce Development, where she later worked for a brief period of time, and the Commonwealth Corporation. Partnerships aren't always easy, especially between two systems not used to working together. Andrea nurtured and fostered those partnerships to the point where they are significantly still in place today. She was a significant contributor to meetings, always willing to share her knowledge and information. She kept the lines of communication always open and was responsive to the needs of both systems. She was able to work at the 100,000-foot level with policymakers and just as effectively at the ground level with her students. She is smart, practical, well-read, ever curious, and always full of ideas. And in fact, she wears us out a little bit at MK with all of her suggestions. Andrea has always been involved in the community and with MK. She's involved in civic activities in her local community and at the state level. She was a founding member of the Massachusetts Coalition for Adult Education. It previously had been the Massachusetts Coalition for Adult Literacy, and it had merged with the Massachusetts chapter of the American Association for Adult and Continuing Education. Andrea served on the MK board for many years, co-chaired the Network Conference Committee for several years, and recently retired from the board in 2019. It is our honor and pleasure to award MK's Lifetime Achievement Award to our respected friend and colleague, Andrea Perrault. She's a shining example of an exemplary adult educator whose vision, commitment, and career enriched the field and the lives of countless individuals over a span of many years. Congratulations, Andrea.
Thank you so much, Roberta. I almost don't recognize myself from that wonderful description. Thank you so much. I'm very honored to be recognized for this award by the board of the Mass Coalition for Adult Education and by the committee, the awards committee. It seems like yesterday that we were organizing the first network conference, and here we are, so many years later, never having expected that we would be in a totally new virtual world. I hope we can make it through. I'm sure we will. MK has been very meaningful for me, mainly because it really is an organization that has done so much to build the voice of adult basic education educators. I remember the days, as you do, Roberta, when people who were in the field didn't really know each other from one community to the next. We really needed the voice of MK to bring us together and to make sure that we could share our expertise, build our capacity to serve our students, and really engage the public so that they knew how important our field was. I'm very honored. I mean, I can't express to you the meaning that this has for me. The people who are on the board or who have served on the board have been my friends, as you said, over multi-decades. I really want to keep those friendships close, and I appreciate everything that the board does to really build a field and a commitment to quality education, helping our students move from where they are to where they want to go. And in many cases, they don't really know where they want to go. It's up to all of us in the field to help them find that direction. And we do so willingly and happily. And as you said, partnerships are crucial to that task. I've enjoyed working with the workforce development system. As you mentioned, when I went to ACLS, that was my job. And it happened to be serendipitous because at that point, the federal government was recognizing that ABE and workforce development needed to really work together. So I was able to participate in a lot of exciting meetings. Although that doesn't sound fabulous, it was. It was just so exciting to sit down with people and envision how we might serve our students more fully and help them not only take a next step to another class, but to take a next step into post-secondary education, into a career that they valued, so that they could really go back home and serve and meet the needs of their families and their communities. So MK is a wonderful organization. Thank you so much for this award. I'll cherish it always. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Andrea.